All right, good morning, good morning. Welcome in, Baseball and Coffee. Saturday, July 12th. It's 9:41 in the morning. I watched a little bit of baseball last night. Looks like my painting is all out of whack back here, but we can fix that. Whatever. Today's coffee, triple espresso. Really needed it today. Had a hard time getting out of bed today. I was up a little late last night. But the work is mysterious and important. That's what I always say, because it truly is. But we're going to get started the same way we always get started. Going to hop over to the main screen and get a load out of the standings after last night. American League East is really heating up. In the last 10, the Blue Jays are 9-1. Yankees have won 5 in a row. Red Sox 9-1 in the last 10. Tampa's the team that's scuffling, but Baltimore also 7-3 in the last 10, including a nice win yesterday. It's getting a little more bunched. We'll talk a little bit more about that division. We have most of the shows about the American League East today. Detroit still 12.5 over Minnesota. Kansas City obviously is coming in. Wow, live chat currently unavailable. Can we edit that? Live chat, yeah, okay, weird. How are you supposed to do this without the chat? Anyway, let's see if we can fix that in a minute, because that's not good. Might have to be careful. Okay, Houston, 6-game lead over Seattle. Houston continues to be impressive despite all the changes they've had over there. Philly, half game over the Mets. That got tight. Mets had a nice win in Kansas City last night. I actually might want to check out that vientos bat against estevez. I have not seen that, but I know that was the big up out of the game. Dodgers 4 over the Giants. Dodgers now 7 losses in a row after losing the Giants in a tight one last night. So it's been pretty good as we get a little bit tighter in some of the divisions, particularly the AL East, NL East, and NL Central's now down to 1. And really, I mean, the Dodgers had a 9-game lead like 6 days ago, and now it's 4.5. But let me see if I can't figure out the chat. What's up?
The chat's working.
Huh?
The chat's working.
The chat's working, but I don't see it. Live chat currently unavailable. Any ideas?
Let me go check.
Maybe if I don't know what to do. I wanted to get into speed watching Carlos Rodon start last night as the first thing to look at. I really think it's a nice story. It's a full circle story. Signs with the Yankees, big money. Struggles really badly out of the gate. And then this year, we'll go over to his Savant page real quick because it is pretty impressive. And then this year, he finds out he's on the All-Star team. Yes, 2 nights ago, I guess, or before this last start, before the break. And he replaces Max Fried, his buddy, and now he's in there. It's really annoying without the chat. What do I do? Gosh, I wish I knew how to fix this chat. All right. Live chat currently unavailable. This is super annoying. Analytics. Show, add stream marker, highlight. Everything seems to be normal except for the chat situation. All right, we're just going to press forward. The show must go on. That's what they say. All right, Carlos Rodon, 97th percentile pitching run value, so he's shoving. I think the biggest change in his arsenal this year is he's up with this 9% sinker, which has got a crazy shape to it. We're going to probably get to see it as we speed watched this game last night. And let's get into it. Rodon versus the Cubs, number 1 hitting team in the big leagues, is the Chicago Cubs. I was talking with Mitch last night, my buddy, who's on here sometimes in the chat. Hold on. What do we got? We got any info?
No, but you can use my phone to see the chat. You just can't see the chat.
Oh, so I can... So, okay, so my wife gave me the phone so I can see the chat. Yeah, baseball purists, you're welcome. We're going to try to do this every day. Tomorrow we might have to take off. I have some stuff going on. But at least I'll be able to see the chat through my phone now. So I'll be able to respond. All right. Yankees and the Cubbies last night. Oh, we got texts coming in from my mom. Use your phone to read chat, I'm told. Yeah, see, everybody's helping me. Everybody's helping me. All right. Let's speed watch it. Carlos Rodon. I'm not going to give too much commentary. I'm just going to watch. We're going to try to draw some conclusions.
First pitch.
Nico Horner.
Given out to left field. On the run is Dominguez, and he...
It's one out on a slider.
Games tonight. Just have to wait and see.
Here's Kyle Tucker. Lined and a base hit to left field.
Baseball purists. I wonder what players do during the All-Star break. Well, if you're in the game, obviously you got to go to Atlanta and you got to sign 8,000 autographs and do meet and greets, and you got to play in the game, and you got to go to the home run derby, and you got to do all the red carpet, which I've never experienced any of that, but that seems kind of miserable except for the awesome part of being an all-star. Everybody else just gets away from the game. Truly, they got to get out of there. This is something I noticed watching this game last night. He did a lot of this early first pitch backdoor slider, perfect location. As you can see, the target from a scar is always kind of arm side away. That's where he wants him to start the pitch, and then here he wants him to bury it, so the target's a lot lower. Carlos buries it beautifully. He actually goes 4 sliders here to get Suzuki. Perfectly executed on under slider right there. Again, when you're trying to get guys to chase, under a big chase spot is this spot right here, under the zone. So it's under the zone, but over the plate, so in terms of the swing decision, you know, it's not a ball left or right, so that's one thing that tells you to swing, and it's just low, and a lot of times the ball's dropping late, so it's kind of hard to make up for that. Carson Kelly. Looks like he's going to finish him off with the heater.
Ground ball. Chisholm knocks it down.
I actually think he got more in a groove as this game went along. All right, here's the first time you really see the sinker show up.
Swing and a miss.
Nasty. Only 4.9 inches of vert on the sinker, and he's getting close to 18, 19 on the four seam. So you're talking like a 13, 14, 15-inch difference sometimes.
Swing
And how much drop the sinker's going to have for Carlos instead of the four seam. And I think that's been a really big adjustment for him. If everybody's able to get him playing with the four seam all the time, I think that leaves him a little bit exposed. And it also helps him with certain bat paths. Like, so you see in this at-bat, Armstrong, sinker, slider, 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 sinker. It doesn't even go to the four seam. And this is also a good job, 3-2. I mean, you don't want to walk the leadoff hitter, but you got to remember that PCA is one of the most aggressive hitters in the league with a 1% percentile in chase. That means he's always chasing. And so he takes advantage of that. And, you know, it was actually interesting when I was with the Yankees. We had a meeting about 3-2 counts that first year when I was in spring training. Basically, 3-2 is the biggest chase count there is in baseball. So a lot of times take your chances on 3-2, throwing a chase pitch, and you're going to be rewarded. I mean, I think it's not a great strategy with nobody on and nobody out because you don't want to risk, you know, a leadoff walk or whatever. But yeah, sometimes you're going to get that chase on 3-2. It's crazy how they won't chase on 2-2, but then on 3-2, it's like they believe in their heart that you're going to throw them a strike, and they kind of auto swing. And then he gets helped out here, if I recall, on this pitch to Dansby.
So my ball got caught at the fence.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a strike. And Dansby obviously knows. It's actually amazing how good these guys are at knowing where these pitches are. I mean, because this pitch is damn close. But Dansby knew it was a ball. The ageless one, the red one, Justin Turner.
Second half because, you know, he is one of the right-handers. He lines one into
Little line drive to center.
Cut off there by
His buddy Belly cutting it off.
The
Yeah, see, there's the smile. See, I knew it. Whenever there's buddies out here, you know they're always playing the game within the game. Obviously, JT's 40 years old. He's not going anywhere. But you can see the reaction here on the face of him as he circles first. And then Bellinger's even smirking too because he knows, you know, this guy's not going to try to test me. All right, Michael Busch. Slider. This has been his put-away pitch. Beautiful. Strike, 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 ball. John Birdie. So there was a little traffic early. Looks like Carlos really hit his stride as this game went on.
Up the middle and through for
Birdie, a little grounder up the middle. Gonna get a little fly out from Nico. So it does seem like the four seam is the primary heater versus the righties, which makes sense. Kind of get above their barrel. And he holds back that sinker mostly for the lefties. I have seen him throw a few front door sinkers. We'll see if he finishes anybody like that during this game. He's going to get Tuck here, who had a first pitch ambush single the first time.
Runner goes. And down goes Tucker.
Kind of a weird slider up in the zone that he gets him to swing under. It was nowhere near that. I wonder how that happened. Well, he did set it up with this sinker before. Let's see where this pitch was. Okay, yeah, so maybe he was on top of this sinker. Maybe the swing adjustment was, so he's on top of this pitch. Maybe the swing adjustment was, I got to get a little more scoopy, and then sure enough, he gets too scoopy on the next pitch slider, and the slider kind of stays up on him.
Runner goes.
So I'd say he got away with one there, but sometimes you get rewarded when you're pounding the zone. All right, so that was Kyle Tucker. Now Seiya having a great year. And get him with the slider. So a lot of velo on the slider too, so that's why you get away with it sometimes. That's not a great location, gets away with it. Then he starts cruising here. First pitch out, Carson Kelly. Four seam, is getting above the barrel. And this is where PCA gets the home run robbed by Judge. Yeah, so that's the first four seam he gets, I believe, because remember that first at bat, it was all sliders and sinkers left on left. Now we try to go four seam above the barrel. I mean, to be fair, this is caught in every ballpark. Obviously, it's a robbed home run in Yankee Stadium because it's right down the line, and it helps when you have a man who's basically, you know, on stilts out there to just kind of reach up and catch it. But let me see, in this at bat, where was he on this fastball? Interesting that they went slider, four seam when the sinker was so effective that first at bat. I'd be curious when we loop around the third time through if he goes back to the sinker as his fastball type. All right, Dansby, four seam.
Delighted. Rodon. Here comes Judge.
Another nice play by Judgy. I mean, so it's all kind of going for him here. JT, top of the fifth. Ooh, here comes breaking out the changeup here, second time through.
Left field.
Just gets a little mishit. I also like the way he's been looping in the changeup a lot this year too. You know, a lot of these adjustments kind of remind me of some of the Cy Young adjustments that Blake Snell made actually to win his second Cy Young, where it was really a lot of changeup. When you have such a fastball that garners such attention like Rodon and Snell do with that lefty four seam up in the zone, and guys have to change their bat path to kind of get to it. Changeup starts to really play, and it doesn't even matter your metric as long as you just locate it down and away. You're going to get a lot of pulled off, weak contact. This one was down and in, but he still gets that weak contact. All right, he's going to punch Bush on a slider for the second time.
Swing and a miss.
Another perfect location. This is a three-pitch punch, so we can watch it real quick. So you're just going to give him the White Castle, the three sliders. Slider chase. Slider chase. And slider chase. I guess Michael Bush thought all those pitches were hittable because he just did a carbon copy 3 in a row. It's actually really hard to do. A lot of times you throw the second one super nasty, and on the third one, you try to do too much and you kind of spin it down the middle. All right, John Birdie.
Left field. Dominguez puts it away.
Drive, easy out. That's the end of the fifth. We go to the sixth. First pitch out. First pitch outs are huge if you want to go deep in this game. And everybody wants to hunt the punchies, but nothing wrong with a little first pitch out. Let him put it in play. Let your defense work, especially when you had the lead that he was pitching with last night. All right, third at bat, first Tuck. He hates it. That was a good pitch to hit. So first at bat, he poked him to left on a fastball. Second at bat, punched him with a slider. See how he goes at him. This whole at bat. Four seam up. Slider take. This ball doesn't have his usual lift, only 13, but Tuck's under it, kind of out front of it. So Nothing really to learn there. And then he's going to get Seiya with the four seam here.
The roster and replaced by his teammate.
That's a perfect location. Up and in. That's where all the heat maps will tell you to throw it. I think it's a really hard location to execute consistently, but if you can get there, you can see it just ties it in a pretzel. Nice pitch. All right, now Carson Kelly to start off the 7th, called out on strikes.
Strike 3.
Wow, dotted in. How did he get him to freeze there? Let's see. Does he start him away? Fastball away. Nice catch by Escara. Gets the call. Change up. Away. Yep, so 2 pitches away. Now we're going to go slider down. All right, this is a good call on the fastball in, and I'm going to tell you why. So the first 2 pitches, I'm just going to get him set up. The first 2 pitches, first one's dotted away. Second one, change up away. And Carson Kelly's energy is now directed towards the outside corner. The next pitch starts away, but kind of ends up bottom. So now his whole attention is on this outside corner. He has not even doing any thinking about the inside corner. What does Carlos do and Escara do? They go and they hunt that inside corner right here.
Strike 3.
And there's just nothing he can do because he's not going to be able to beat you to the spot when his initial move, his initial energy is to dive for that outside corner. Watch Kelly's front knee here. The initial move with the body is to get to that outside corner, and then by the time it's in, he'd have to be firing already to beat him here. It's an immediate take and hope it's a ball. And instead it's painted on the inside. And that's just a nice sequence. All right, on to the next. Oh, this was another fun play. So this is Crow Armstrong again. I'm going to get him to roll over a slider here. I mean, not even close pitch to the zone. And this was a really good foot race to the bag. That was reviewed for a while. And I think Carlos is back. Wow. A lot of love going around here. But Carlos's back heel actually kind of skimmed the bag here a little bit. On the first take of the replay that I watched, it looked like PCA was going to be safe. But Carlos got there, won the foot race. And you can tell, he gives him a peek real quick off the mound. You can see Carlos's head right here. Takes a look at PCA. He's looking at him now like, oh boy, I got to go. So he kicks it up a notch, and he earns himself an out with good hustle. But let me say something. Yeah, so he goes back to the sinker type. That makes sense. That's what I predicted for the third at-bat, that he was definitely not going to repeat that four-seam after almost getting clipped. So sinker slider, takes advantage of the aggression. Obviously, PCA swings at a pitch way down here. That's good pitching. If a guy's going to swing, give him a chance to swing at a bad pitch. Oh, okay, nothing there. All right, so we're still going. Dansby lining out to Volpe. 97, so his best heaters are now coming towards the end of the game. 84th pitch in here, 97 miles an hour. And then we go to the 8th. Turner, JT.
Left-hander Carlos Rodon.
0-2, so there comes the down slider. Doesn't really quite get it there. This is a nice play by Jazz. Knows his runner. So he just gets it there. Infielders, if you're at home watching this play, we're going to look at it on the high home. Jazz is pinched up the middle, and he fields it there. Turner is not a fast runner, so Jazz is aware of the scouting report, so he doesn't have to hurry up and gun this ball. But also, he knows he doesn't really have time to set his feet, so he makes a smart choice, and he goes for the bounce attack to first base on the pass to Goldschmidt, on the throw to Goldschmidt. And I think that's smart, because if you make the choice to gun it and you throw it too high, then you got no shot of fielding it. But if it's down, you know, all he has to do is pretend it's a ground ball and kind of snag it and stay in the bag. So, if you're a young infielder here and you have to make the choice of, you're not really sure if you can make a perfectly accurate throw, you have to make the choice of whether to throw it too high or too low. Too low is always the move because it gives your first baseman a chance to dig it out. Goldie's one of the best in the game. Jazz knows that, so that makes a tough play into actually a much simpler play. It doesn't have to be perfect with that throw. All right, last two batters. He's going to give up a hit here. See, here's a righty sinker attempt. Doesn't work here. Judges like to a dive for another ball. Doesn't work here, but as you can see, third time through the order, he's willing to go to some pitches he normally wouldn't go to. And then he's going to get Tucker for a fourth at bat.
the payoff. Now
And he ends up getting him the pop up off the end.
Judge.
Judge.
And he
Huh.
does.
Judge makes a nice diving catch to maintain it.
Aaron Judge
And Rodon's
makes
loving
the
it.
play.
Sacrificing the body so that the pitcher can get 8 zeros.
And this one hurts.
That's what a great teammate is right there.
Soft grass.
I mean, they're up 11 runs here, and he gives absolutely 8 runs here, and he gives up absolutely everything he has for this pitch. It's a nice pitch here, gets him off the barrel, 79, but it does require a nice play by Judgy, and he makes it. Yeah, that's a big boy moving a lot.
And he makes the play.
So he ends up with 8 scoreless. I got to feel good for this guy. He's having fun. Let's see if he tried to empty the tank here at all in this at-bat. 98 mile an hour four seam here. Yeah, so this is what you do at the end of your outings. Give it absolutely everything you've got. I mean, he was sitting 93, 94 early in this game. This is a 98 mile an hour pitch on pitch number 108. Let's see if we can watch a little bit of Carlos from the side. Another guy who gets a lot of depth with that back leg. Let's take a peek. Comes into coil. And then he gets down to here. So this is sort of like a Chapman delivery, honestly. Sort of very similar. Same sweep out on the front leg. Same amount of depth on the back leg. Front arm never gets out to here, but it goes from here and then tucks in. Huge stretch across the chest. And a powerful finish. In terms of the landing, he's another one with this lead knee. Now, interesting that he comes up off the ground onto his heel there to really exaggerate that. But Carlos is super strong, and oh my guy, Josh Porter, Northeastern Husky, stud. Yeah, I appreciate you checking out what we got cooking here, watching a little baseball in the mornings. There's a lot of drills you can do for this lead leg block. I don't like a lot of the hip shoulder separation drills, but I love a lot of the lead leg block drills. It really helps you with your lower half timing. Guys use med balls, plyo balls to kind of drill that in and kind of get that free easy velo. So great outing by Rodon. He's been a stud this year. It's got to be great to see. Got to be a great feeling. I mean, really, when you struggle, when you hit rock bottom in this game, you do become a dangerous man a lot of times because you have the ability to kind of really look in the mirror for the first time in a while and say, what do I need to change? And you just kind of go to work. You stay in the darkness and you train that. And that's what Carlos has done. He was a little better last year, and this year he's back to being one of the best pitchers in the game. And it's just so awesome to see a guy who persevered, didn't give in, didn't give up, didn't listen to the noise, believed in himself, let his teammates encourage him, stayed a great teammate throughout the whole process. And now he's rewarded going to the All-Star game on a first place, not a first place team, but on a team that's close to first place, playing good baseball right now as they head in to the final 2 games. So Bellinger had 3 homers last night. Let's watch him real quick. He also got robbed for a 4th. The first one, he scoops a curveball here while flexing. 101.7 at 38. I don't think this is gone in most ballparks. In fact, we should do a quick check. You know what? Because we have the capability, we might as well. We'll go to yesterday's game, Yankees, Cubbies. We're going to go to exit velocity tab. We're going to search for belli. And we're going to see here. So the first home run was a home run in 7 of 30 ballparks, the one that we just watched, 7 of 30 ballparks. It would be a home run in Great American Ballpark, Comerica, Angel Stadium, Yankee Stadium, Philly, Tampa, and Rogers Center, and all these it would have not. But either way, you know what ballpark you're in when you get there, and you got to use it to your advantage. So a big theme that we're going to watch here with belli is just pull side fly balls. So that's the first one. Let's watch it one more time. Flexen tries to go curveball. Bellinger's as good as anybody at scooping those out. And he backspins it nice, carries right into right center, which I always felt like is really the shallowest part relative to other parks. Yankee Stadium is that right center. And then the second one is off Thiel bar, tough lefty. It's going to be a fastball. This one he hits about the same. Oh, I'm sorry, guys.
High drive.
Up and away, dead pull fly ball. get rewarded big time in Yankee Stadium. This ball's way
What
gone.
a shot by Bellinger. Another
102 at 35. What do they say about that one off Theo Bar? They say 27 of 30 ballparks. So this one, I don't know what 3 ballparks that would have stayed in. That was like 20 rows back. Can we look at that? It says it wouldn't be gone in Fenway. Okay, Fenway's super deep. Kaufman's deep in the gap. Nats Park maybe because of the high wall. I think these are all estimations, but I guess I could buy that a little bit. And then he's got one more dinger off Wicks. Another lefty. This comes on a slider. This one, it's even another about mile an hour better. Another really high one, 380.
He's on the track. So is the center fielder who
PCA might have had that if it wasn't caught. And in fact, he knows not to assume anything, because PCA comes awfully close to catching this. What do you think in the chat? Do you think he catches that? I don't know. Anybody in the chat think PCA catches this ball? I say yes. I say he's got it. He's damn good at robbing these home runs. And Belli, obviously, they're friends. They play together with the Cubbies. He's like, are you kidding me? Look at Garrett. Garrett's loving it. By the way, look at the extension on that elbow. Looking good, looking good, looking good, looking healthy. He'll be back. So there's 3 homers. And the crazy thing is, he could have become, I think it's one of only a handful of guys, probably less than 20, to ever go 4 in a game. Because this is the 4th one. Ends up getting robbed by Tuck. Jordan Wicks also. Little sinker in off the plate. Scoops it out to right. And Tuck robs it. This one only 94.8. Probably shouldn't be a homer. But if he does, it would have been 4 homers in the game. Let's see what that one said. The one off of Wicks, the line out. Yeah, only a home run in 1 of 30 parks, 190. So it's hard to complain. But he did go 3 homers, and 2 of them were only homers, and one of them in 7 out of 30, one at 5 out of 30. But you get really rewarded for those pull side fly balls. Brandon Nimmo catches that. You know, Nimmo's gotten pretty good at robbing the homers too. I agree, Garrett. Nim's pretty good around the wall. He's gotten really good. Plus, now that he's gotten over his fear of getting injured all the time, which I think was like a younger Nimmo problem, he's gotten a lot more aggressive near the wall. All right, so that's all we're going to look at for... Yeah, very close. Great effort by PCA. I agree. That's all we're going to look at for the Yankee game. They've won 4 in a row. They crushed the Cubbies last night. I know the Cubbies were the top team run differential coming in, mainly off their offense. I would love to hear what the chat thinks about the Cubbies. Do the Cubbies have enough pitching? I'm going to say no at the moment. They're going to have to really upgrade that staff. Are there any Cubs pitchers that are really putting any fear in anybody? Let's go to the Cubs team really quick. Let's go to the Cubs team expected pitching stats. So Thielbar, Palencia, Keller. So their top 3 guys on a pitch-by-pitch basis are relievers. Then Boyd. So Boyd's been your best guy. He did shove a little bit last year in the playoffs. Flexen, for me, he's like a nice number 5 starter. I feel a little nervous about him in a playoff game. Imanaga, that's the guy you'd want to ride. He's definitely going to have to execute. J-Mo's a really good pitcher. But are any of these guys aces? I think they have a lot of number 3s. Yeah, Matthew Boyd with the resurgence. So I would like to see them get one more. Horton is a nice arm, but he's young. So they've done a nice job, but they don't have that dominant guy. They don't have that Skubal, that Skeens, that Wheeler, a guy like that. Obviously, I know I'm asking for a lot, and their offense can make up for a lot. But I do think when you get down to the playoffs, you're going to face some of the best pitchers in the game, and that gets a little tough. All right, let's go to the Red Sox game last night, and we got to look at Ceddanne. So this guy bats 9th most of the time for the Red Sox, which is, considering the way he's played the last month and a half, have this guy in your 9-hole, and as you can see on his value here, this guy does it in every way. He's 100th percentile in fielding run value. Him and PCA are the 2 best fielders in the game at the moment. Base running 93rd percentile, and now his batting. I mean, really, they were looking for anything offensively out of this guy. He's got superstar potential. He really, really does. He's an absolute toolbox. And last night he goes walk-off homer. So let's go to that game. Red Sox Rays, as the Red Sox, I believe, won their 7th or 8th in a row. 7th in a row. Red Sox and Rays. Fairbanks. Red Sox did a nice job hanging into this game after Dobbins goes down in the first inning. I wonder if you can see anything here. It was. I don't think we have the right camera angle. We're gonna have to go broadcast, but he kind of hurts himself as he covers the bag here. I don't know what exactly happened there. I don't get a great look for it, but something with the knee. Anyway, they did a good job. They held it down. Alcala, Bernardino, Weissert, Wilson, Hicks, Murphy, all holding it down so they could make a little comeback here. Finally, we get to the 9th. Fairbanks comes in. Marcelo had a nice at-bat, but it ended up getting out here on just a really nice play by Caballero. Kind of gets beat. Caballero dives in the hole, turns, throws, got him. Caballero with the Tony the Tiger eye black right here. Definitely one of the more annoying flea gnat-like players in the big leagues. This guy single-handedly, I felt like, swept us last year when I was with the Mets and we played the Rays. He was stealing every base, getting infield hits, doing a lot of annoying things. Very Tampa Bay Rays. Anyway, that's the first out. Roman Anthony comes in. I think this might be a pinch hit. I'm sorry, guys. Let me double check. Yeah, this is it. He comes in to pinch hit in the 9th off of a closer. And ends up drawing the walk. This was huge. Doesn't try to do too much here. And that sets up ceddanne. Now I want to go through this whole at-bat here because I also think that Fairbanks and the catcher Jansen read this at-bat wrong. 96 in for a ball. As you can see, Fairbanks, what you're dealing with is a really high release point, and it's a 19-inch vertical break, so a super hoppy fastball. And it's like a negative horizontal break. So that means that ball's cutting. He also has some scary bug eyes, as you can see. I don't know what he's doing there with his eyes, but here's the 1-0. Fastball down in, foul ball. So to my read, he's late here. Ceddanne's late. He's under this ball, and he's late for foul ball. They come back on the 1-1 with another fastball. This one, 98.6. And again, I think he's late and not on plane. This pitch is up and in. So for my money, when I was watching this game, I was thinking, you got to go fastball up. You got to go fastball really high here. This is a very aggressive hitter. That's his one main weakness. And if it were me, I would go high here. If you're going to go breaking ball here, ideally you want something that pops in the lower part of the zone and gets to the bottom. But you'll see here, they do go breaking ball. It's a slider. They do go slider. And unfortunately for Fairbanks, this pitch does not get below the zone. And now Rafaela is more on time. When they talk about speeding a guy's bat up, this is what they're talking about. Ooh, he does a little ice tray with the celebration here. The Ronald Acuna, I'm so cold. And the team goes absolutely nuts. The stadium's going absolutely nuts. You can see how fired up they are for this guy. Huge win. Red Sox are starting to feel it. Can they creep back in? If they sweep the Rays, are they back before the break? It's a good question. But all right, let's look at this pitch again. So it does pop where we kind of want it to, but maybe a little bit too high. It kind of pops middle here, looks like. And then it's going to end up in a very hittable spot, that down in zone. He needs this ball in the dirt. And when I talk about speeding up a guy's bat, what coaches would say when they mean speeding up a guy's bat is you're throwing all these fastballs and the guy's late. Now you throw something slower, but he's still trying to get on time with the fastball. But now you kind of almost accidentally hit his barrel. Like now the timing is better for him on the breaking ball. And that's kind of what happens here. It's also not 2 speeds down. Like this pitch is 86, so still pretty firm. And he drops it right into the hitting zone. Rafaela scoops it out. And this is nothing new. This kid's been really, really hot lately. I was looking at his page earlier on his, down here on his game logs. May, 870 OPS. And July, we're about halfway through, 1370 OPS. When one thing that's interesting is it looks like he's been hanging out with Bregman a lot. So if you can put that computer brain of Alex Bregman into this type of body talent in ceddanne, you're going to see a jump in performance. That's what we're seeing right now. He's up to a 791 OPS. He can go over 800 OPS. He's going to be, simply put, one of the top 30, 40 most valuable players in the game, considering his defensive range and his arm strength and his sprint speed. I thought I would take a quick look at the outs above average leaderboard. So this is just for outfielders, but you can see ceddanne right here, number 2 at 15 outs above average. I was trying to see what he's particularly good at, what he's particularly bad at. Seems like when it comes to catching fly balls, he's good in every direction. He's +4 on in, he's +3 to players right, +7 to a player's left, and +1 on going back on the ball. Even P. Crow Armstrong's -1 going back on the ball. So ceddanne's good in every single way, plus his arm talent really shows. I thought it would be fun to go, let's look at arm value. And let's see if we can find some ceddanne throwing some guys out. This is a really cool tool on Baseball Savant. Let's see here. Runner first, go hit by pitch. Let's see here.
Telez at second.
See if we got Rafaela throwing a guy out here.
Fly ball out to right field. It sends Anthony back.
It's off the wall, gets by Roman.
Telez rumbles home. Williamson headed to the plate. Here's the throw.
This isn't a direct play. This is a relay play. Good job backing up, though. Let's see if we can find something else here. Yeah, here's a direct throw. Mets game. Single up the middle, could be 2 runs, but here he comes charging with reckless abandon. Perfect throw over the mound, hoses him at the plate. I love outfielders who can throw. And really, it's the way that they attack the ball sometimes, even more so than the throwing. There's some Stephen Kwans, because he's the #1 in terms of run value. We could take a look at his video. And a lot of it is just kind of how they attack the ball in the outfield, how quickly they get to it, how aggressive they are. See, look how hard he's running towards this ball. Gives himself a shot. Man, perfect one hopper. Same as with the infielders. If you throw a one hopper, it gives the guy who's fielding this ball, Bregman in this case, a chance. This pitch is too high. This throw's too high. You can't do anything with it. But I just want to show the hustle here. Watch ceddanne in center as he charges this ball hard. You have no shot of making this play if you can't hustle. So it's a combination of speed, timing, angles, throwing power, accuracy with the arm. All of that kind of lends itself to how good this guy has been in center. And again, you look at his run value. I don't even know how to look at the outs above average. I'd love to watch his 5-star plays. Maybe if somebody can give me a little advice on how to do that. There's got to be a way to look at the 5-star plays. But yeah, former infielder. He actually played a lot of infield last year. And I think, it's crazy. I was getting ready for this year's draft, and I was watching a lot of videos. And it's like shortstops are the top of the draft board pretty much across all of the top 50 prospects that are especially out of high school. Most of them are shortstops. And I think that the reason for that is because those guys can develop into playing other positions, particularly outfield, like center field. If you're a guy with a lot of speed and a good throwing arm, you could always play outfield, particularly center. And really, the position that I like to watch, too, is catchers. Converted guys to catcher, they end up having those wonderful transfer ability and transfer times, as well as strong, accurate arms on the throws. They're very mobile in their hips and their agility. They can slide side to side to block balls. Billy Carlson is my favorite player in this draft coming up, just because I've watched him a lot defensively, and maybe before the draft we can watch some videos of some of these guys. But I don't know if you guys gotten a chance to watch this kid, Billy Carlson, on YouTube. Nasty on the field, and he's one of those guys you can just see, like, if he can hit at all, he's going to be an all-star. And if he can't, they maybe can move him to the mound, or he could become a defensive specialist. He's going to will his way to the big leagues just off defensive ability. That's kind of what Rafaela does. He can play short, he can play second, he can play any place in the outfield. I think they love having him lay in the weeds in the 9-hole. I think he's setting up, he sets up the lineup nicely to flip over to the top. And it's good to see him break back out. Duran was the guy last year. Now you got Roman Anthony up there. Abreu's probably top 3 hitter on the Red Sox. So they have an outfield, a little bit of an outfield logjam. But if Rafaela is going to play like this, he's providing value that the other guys just can't do, especially defensively. So I would expect to see him in center. And yeah, the sky's the limit for ceddanne. 24 years old, stud, really, really good player, really, really good player. All right, what else do we want to look at real quick? You know, I think I want to watch a few more of these, but I want to watch a different player because I want to show a little bit of how you can attack the ball. If you go to the throwing, Stephen Kwan, he's number 1 in this chart. I think there was a sick one where he kind of comes. I asked ChatGPT, create a list of 5, and I got good results.
5 hits for the
All right, let's see what happens here with Kwan.
4 Cleveland errors. There's a drive to
Oh yeah, watch this. This is beautiful. The way how quick the transfer is. Snap, turn, throw.
They might get him. The throw in time.
Dead. That is a doornail. So it's like an infielder quality in the outfield. Oh, okay. We're waiting on the vientos double. All right, I want to watch one more of these, and then we'll go to the vientos double because I'm curious to watch that at bat as well. There's another one here where he really charges the heck out of the ball.
Something like it. You don't see a whole lot of
this ain't it. This is where he throws it away. I can hear my kids in the background. Oh yeah, here, Vladdy. Another beautiful and transfer, fire, throw. It's just like it's an infield quality in the outfield that translates to these quick outs. Gerardo Parra is probably the best I've ever seen in terms of hosing guys from the outfield with a quick, short stroke, accurate arm. His YouTube highlights are insane. All right, so Mets Royals. I have not seen this, so we're going to react live. This will be the last thing we'll look at. I'm going to go Mets Royals today, and we're going to react live to this at-bat, Vientos versus Estevez. I hope it's a few pitches at least, so we have something to learn from. Here we go. Situation, obviously Pete's pissed, broken, snapped the bat over his knee. All right, we got bases loaded. Kansas City, 3-1 lead. The closer's in the game. Carlos Estevez, my guy from Colorado. Throws hard. Got a pretty good slider, pretty good changeup. Right or right, this is a good matchup. Let's see how it worked out. First pitch slider down. You know, this is not a great job by Salvi. This is the opposite, where the glove kind of pancakes down into the ground instead of kind of meeting it and try to catch it going up. But nevertheless, 1-0 count.
It was really, really bad.
Yeah, if you're gonna try that,
Wild thing with the 97-mile-an-hour heater away. Mark's not looking to hit something on the black with no strikes.
How about a hard ground ball?
Slider up. Kind of a weird take by Mark here. Let's watch Mark.
How about a hard ground ball? To one of them.
C-spin shuts it down.
second, Soto at first.
All right, 2-1 slider.
And that curls right in
Interesting that his energy, he's kind of bailed a little bit with his takes on the last 2 pitches.
there. First, the 2-1.
So it's 4 consecutive takes to get to this 2-2 pitch.
The 2-2. Line in a right
And this
center
time,
field.
he is able to dive and smack it.
Scores from third.
This is a good job. He kind of takes, Estevez shows that he just wants to work him away in this at-bat. And I think he doesn't really give him any information because he kind of looks like he's bailing and that he's not going to dive for that outside corner. And then here on the 2-2, he kind of flips the script on that. Pitch goes away. Mark stays through it nicely. 107.7 to the oppo gap. This is what Mark does when he's going right. He hits the ball as hard as anybody. I remember last year talking to him in the NLCS versus the Dodgers and just saying, look, man, like these guys are they're not gonna pitch you middle in. They're gonna make you beat them away. Stay patient. Don't chase off the plate. Wait for that fastball you can do something with, and just go the other way with it. You have enough pop to go anywhere. This is the swing that Mark needs to take all the time. If they're going to beat him in, challenge them to throw you 3 in a row in there. For the most part, guys are going to stay away from you. Stay away from your power, but you have enough pop to go the other way. It's a beautiful swing. And that's a good sign for Vientos. The Mets are going to need him. Mets are going to need him a lot. Yeah, it's a big swing right here. Game changer. I love watching Manaya's reactions. Check out Sean. Yeah. So that's a nice job. Mets with a nice comeback in this game. Looks like it was set up by a single. This is this guy, Steven Cruz, had a nice year. Nimmo. This is why I like Nimmo in the leadoff spot. He's very good at getting on base when that's his job. When he doesn't have to do too much, he's very good at wearing guy out and getting on base. Then a 4-pitch walk to Lindor, so pitcher kind of loses it here. 3-2. Let's see where this pitch is to Soto.
The 3-2. It's high for ball.
Yeah, Soto's not going to chase. That's the thing. You just pass the baton. You trust in your teammates. Pete ends up going for the 3-pitch punch. Oh, we need a better view of that. We need a better view of Pete. Sorry, Petey, but this is electric. Yeah, this is, you want to know how strong a guy is? Like, this would break my leg if I tried to do this. Oh. I think he was a little upset. Nevertheless, no double play. Gives Mark a shot. Mark drives it in the gap. Let's watch it from the third base. Here it is. 91 slider away. Drives it the other way. Got some Met fans in KC. Up here. These kids. Go, go, go. Anyway, that's how a comeback happens. You don't try to do too much. Obviously, this is a huge ballpark to hit homers in. Grand slam there, you know, singles as good as a grand slam there, honestly. You got to keep the line moving, as they say. And, you know, I think Mark gets his singles. That'll give him the confidence to start letting it eat a little more again with the fastball. All right, that's it for today. Let's go look at the probables for tonight. And for today, actually, most of these games are day games coming in hot. Boyd, Fried, both All-Stars. Boyd's the guy I was saying. You know, he's been the best pitcher so far for the Cubbies. Be curious to see how he deals with this Yankee offense today. I remember a couple years ago, maybe it was 19, he came in with Detroit and punched out like 14 Yankees. So he's certainly capable. But Fried's been a tough customer as well. Kirby and Mize, also two awesome pitchers. Mize is now in the All-Stars. Kirby's been hurt all year, but this is one of my guys, as we know. Mike Burrows and a TBA. Eric Fetty and the Braves are a TBA. We got Shohei on the mound versus the Giants. Definitely got to check in for that. Maybe he'll go 3 innings. Jansen Junk, who was nasty last game, seems like he might be breaking out a little bit for the Marlins. Trevor Rogers, he's been electric so far for the Orioles. He might be their best starter right now. Bradley Blaylock, who I've never heard of for the Rock Show, versus Brady Singer. We'll see if anything pops from that game. Frankie Montas, Michael Lorenzen. Montas, they need him. The Mets need him. Boz and Crochet. You know, I do think Crochet's starting to wear down just a tiny bit. I think he's desperate for the break as well. I don't think he's hurt or anything, but he's... Go look at his inning totals for his career. It's actually staggering. We'll take a quick look at that. It's actually staggering to look at, and this is like one of the things that scares me a little bit. He's a beast, and he's doing everything right, but this scares me a little bit. 2020, 6 innings. 2021, 54 innings. 2022, missed the whole season. 2023, 12 2/3 innings. And then last year, 146 innings. I mean, that's a huge jump. Like, by any metric, that's kind of a crazy jump. And then this year, he's already at $120. He's headed towards 180, 190, maybe even 200 innings this year. Now, the results have been amazing. 2.39 ERA. All-Star. Definitely in the running for the Cy Young. But it does make me a little nervous how he's going to go the rest of the way. Red Sox are getting hot, so they need him. Let's see if they ride him hard today or if they give him a little bit of a reprieve here. I'd be curious to see. But yeah, so that's that matchup. Sorry, I keep hitting the wrong buttons here. Yeah, Crochet and Shane Boz, young stud. Tanner Bybee, Sean Burke. Agasawara, second career start. And Woodruff, second game back. We studied up on his last game. And then we got DeGrom and Valdez. This might be the best matchup of the day. Yeah, I agree, Mitch. It is amazing he was paid as a starter with that track record. I think a lot of that has to do with the pitch models and the way the Red Sox are going about things these days, being very, very heavily driveline based and pitch model based. I bet the model Crochet just jumps off the page. In the modeling, I think it's a little scary considering how much they guaranteed him and how little he's pitched. But at the same time, talent like him is rare, and I think they must really believe in it. They see other metrics that make them believe he can stay healthy. I myself a little skeptical, but I also know he's a really hard worker and a big kid, and he's already been through the injury thing one time, so he's likely learned a lot from that, and we'll just see how it goes. But yeah, tonight, DeGrom and Framber, this is one of the best matchups we're going to see all season. These guys are both beasts. They go about it different ways. DeGrom's the four-seam, Framber is the sinker. DeGrom's getting strikeouts and pop-ups. Framber's getting strikeouts and ground balls. And then another great one, Wheeler and Darvish. Yeah, model doesn't guarantee pitcher health. No, of course not. I actually despise some of the pitch models. We'll get into that a little bit. And it's not because I don't think they're useful tools. I just think that it's only one of the tools, and the health component seems to be ignored a lot, and the durability component. Zach Wheeler, Yu Darvish. This is a classic matchup, two studs. Obviously, Wheeler's at the top of his game. Darvish, it's only his second game back, so he's trying to round into form. Gallen, he needs to continue build off his last two starts, get himself back where he needs to be. Kikuchi, could Gallen get traded this year? I think he'd be a guy I'd hunt for, actually, if you can get him for a little bit less, since he hasn't performed as well this year. I think he's still got ace upside second half. Gausman and Jacob Lopez rounded out at Suter Health Park today. They have the night game, the super late game. So they're the only game in town at that point, so maybe we'll be watching a little bit if I'm awake. But that is it for today. Those are our matchups. A lot of good day games today. Thanks for joining me. I really appreciate it hanging with me. I don't know what's up with the chat. I'm going to watch it off this phone, but appreciate you guys joining me. I don't think I'll be here tomorrow. I'll announce it one way or another. I have some stuff to do in the morning. I'd like to get it in somehow, but we'll see. And once again, thanks. If you have any concerns, comments, questions, topics, send them to the email, baseballandcoffeetheshow@gmail.com. Write me a message in the comments. Tell me something, what you'd like to see more of, less of, anything like that. I would love the feedback. So have a great day. Have a great Saturday, everybody. See ya.